Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Just a Little Talk. We're so excited to have those of you who are watching with us on today to share with us. We are so happy that we have a great show scheduled on today. We have some dynamite speakers that's with us on today, and we're just so happy. Our topic for the day is making our communities better through community engagement and involvement. And we have some great community leaders here on today that's going to share and going to uh, let us know what's going on with their organizations. Amen. So we can help make our communities better. And so once again, welcome to Just a Little Talk. We are so happy to have each one of you on with us on today. So at this time, we are going to let each speaker introduce themselves, starting with you, Miss Laverne Huff.
Good evening to everyone. I'm Laverne Huff and a retired educator of approximately 44 years. And I loved my profession. I was a middle school teacher and an administrator. I love my church. And I guess I had someone to recently tell me that I may be physically retired, but my brain is not retired. So I love working with youth and the community. And I basically just enjoy everything that I do.
Amen. Amen. Brother Yancey, will you introduce yourself to us on this evening?
Yes, sir. My name is Emmanuel Yancey, and it is an honor and a pleasure to be on the show today. Um, I'm an Air Force veteran, and I'm very passionate about helping our senior citizens in our community to ensure that they, which are a growing community, are not underserved. Uh, I love the Lord. He's been ordering my steps and a guide for my life. And I'm very thankful for the direction in which He has my life. And I'm very determined, I'm very driven, and I don't allow stumbling blocks to hinder the vision of where I'm going with the direction God has my life. And so it's a great honor to be able to share with you today. I'm the father of one beautiful daughter, proud father. She's very special to me. She's 15 years old. Her name is Kinaya, and she's the joy of my life.
Amen. 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 Well, we are in good company today because listen, we all love the Lord and we are so excited for you and Sister Laverne to be in our presence on the day. We have Sister Karen um, Willoughby Bailey who's with us on the day. She's traveling on the road, and so we know that the connections may be a little distorted. And so, Karen, will you just introduce yourself? Karen, can you hear us? Amen. Well, listen, we're going to go ahead and get started. I don't know if she can hear us or not. Karen, can you hear us? Well, listen, we're going to go ahead and get started, and I want us to talk about our organizations today and talk about some of the things that we got going on in the community and some of the things that's going to help make our communities much better. And so we're going to jump right into it on this evening. Sister Laverne Huff, we're going to start with you. Please tell us about Metro Impact One and the services it provides to the community.
Well, I'm excited to talk about Metro Impact One. Metro Impact One has been around about 3 years. The work began about 3 years ago. And we had a wonderful launching at Old Dominion University. We are business leaders, business educators, we are government workers, And we're just a group of people who are passionate about serving and working in our community. And we launched a program this year called Seniors, the Heart of Our Community. And this was a really, really exciting adventure for us. And we worked with a nursing home. Basically, it was a senior apartment type nursing home called Sykes Midrise. And we conducted workshops. We provided them with a lot of resources. And one of the things about seniors is that they are a group of people, they have lived their lives, and their quality of life to me is what's important to them. And Metro Impact wanted to ensure that we help them to have a better quality of life. Some of our workshops that we did were Thinking Smart About Your Heart. We did a workshop called Don't Fall for the Okie Dokie. It was about falls because we know that seniors are that sometimes they have challenges with falling. And the final workshop we did was It's All in the Mind, because we know that sometimes seniors are lonely and they don't have visitors. But with these workshops, they enjoyed it. We always had a physical activity that we did with them. And we did seat yoga with them that they enjoyed. We provided lunch for them. So we had a great 2 years just focusing on seniors in the community. And I think our theme just says it all: seniors, the heart of our community. Our mission is basically to serve and engage the community. And it's our goal really to positively impact the community so that we can make a difference in the things that we've done. So Metro Impact is on the move. We have a wonderful group of people who are working really, really hard, and we are just excited about what's to come.
Amen. Thank you, Laverne. Is there anything that you have coming up that's that we can be looking forward to?
Yes, it is. And I was going to talk about that a little later, but I will talk about it now.
Okay.
We are moving into phase 2 of our program, and our phase 2 is mentoring and coaching youth. And so we're just real excited about this. We are launching a virtual mentoring and coaching program, and it's called High Touch Coaches Check In and Chat. We're in a pandemic, and the world has really changed around us, and we have had to be really flexible. We started the year thinking about working with youth and teens after school, in their school, on Saturdays, but we've had to have a paradigm shift and change how we were going to work with them. We have an extensive program designed for them where we're going to be working on what I call life skills. I always say with youth and teens that it's important to be well-rounded, and some of these life skills are legacy. We want our teens to know about where they came from. We're going to talk a little bit about their role models. We're going to talk about their families, and we want them to have an appreciation basically for who they are. We're going to talk about gratitude with them. I'm going to say gratitude versus entitlement, because it's important that kids understand the difference there. We are going to talk about goal setting, which is really important to help them set goals, financial literacy for youth and teens, developing youth leaders. We're going to be using some information from Stephen Covey, The Leader in Me. And finally, a topic called reframing your thinking. And with this topic, we want kids to be positive. We want them to not look at things negatively. We want them to see the glass half full instead of half empty.
Mhm.
So this is basically our virtual mentoring and coaching program that we are about to launch. We're excited about it. We have flyers out there, information where we are recruiting kids, and we're hopefully going to work with about 100 students.
Amen. Thank you so much, Laverne, and we are looking forward to hearing more from Metro Impact One organization. I'm very familiar with that organization, and so we thank God for you. You are a very hard worker, and so I thank God for you and your staff. Amen. For Metro Impact One. Amen. Emmanuel, will you please tell us about Emmanuel Hope Foundation and the service
Absolutely.
it provides?
Emmanuel's Hope Foundation is a 501c3 nonprofit organization. And before Emmanuel's Hope Foundation was thought about, I began working in 2017, just doing landscaping and yard work for senior citizens that live alone, and due to physical limitations, they can't do their own yard work, and sometimes financial limitations doesn't allow them to pay someone to do it. So I began doing that for a number of senior citizens, and by 2018, I mean, the need just grew in the community. And that's when Emmanuel's Hope Foundation was birthed. I was doing landscaping and lawn care for our seniors before I even thought about a foundation or a nonprofit organization. So in 2018, the name was birthed and the organization actually became official. And it is a great pleasure each and every day to be out here uh, putting smiles on our senior citizens' faces, restoring the joy and the pride of home ownership. Because I know I'm very fortunate. My passion comes from being so fortunate to have 6 grandparents throughout the majority of my life. To my late 30s, I had 6 grandparents. My mother's parents were living, my father's parents were living, and on my father's side of the family, I had 2 great grandmothers. And one of them was very, very passionate about gardening. She was very passionate about her landscape and her yard. And when she was unable to tend to her own yard anymore, I would see how it would break her heart to sit on her porch and see the weeds overgrown in her flower beds that she used to actually manicure herself. And so I took pride and took joy in doing that for my great grandmother. She stayed in her home until she passed away, God rest her soul, Grandma Sally. And I mean, she stayed in her home her entire life, where it became difficult. The stress was relieved by family members that were able to help her, and myself being able to do lawn care for her. But now, unfortunately, all my grandparents are gone. And so, in memory of all my grandparents, it gives my heart great joy to have everyone's grandparent as mine. And so I'm out here every day, um, out in the sun, enjoying the sun, but I'm doing something that I enjoy, that I'm very passionate about. And the joy that it brings to our senior citizens' hearts, because I don't just cut their lawn. And the group of young men that go with me, we take special care and we manicure their lawns and we restore their lawns to the original state as if they were doing it themselves. And that restores the pride in their heart of home ownership, and it empowers our senior citizens to be able to maintain their residence and not feel anxious about remaining in their homes. A lot of them are in states by themselves, and I really believe that the senior citizen community is growing rapidly, and they are underserved communities. So Emmanuel's Hope Foundation, it is our goal, it is our vision, and it is our determination to shine a light on the needs of our senior citizens, to ensure that someone is thinking about them, to ensure that they are not being taken advantage of. I see a lot of that because in doing their lawns, I'm able to meet a lot of special people that have a lot of wisdom to impart to us. They have a lot of stories throughout their life experiences that can teach and guide us. They are the pillars of our community. And so it is a wonderful thing to be able to interact with them on a consistent basis. We go above and beyond the call of duty. Whatever I can do to make the life for our senior citizens better, I'm very honored to do so. And in memory of my grandparents, it is just a joy.
Amen. Thank you so much, man. That sounds that's outstanding what you're doing, and I want to thank you and what you're doing for the community. And we know that the Emmanuel Hope Foundation is going to really blossom, and so we're praying for you and your foundation. We have now with us Miss Karen Bailey, as she come and just introduce herself and just talk about her organization today. Karen, can you hear us? Unmute yourself. All right, we're going to Laverne. Our next question for you, Sister Huff, is what can Metro Impact One do to help bridge the gap between communities that need these kinds of services that Metro Impact One provides?
You know, I believe that it's everyone's goal to want to improve the well-being of others and to improve the lives of those in the community that they live. My mom always said to me, if you ever get in a position to help someone, then I want you to do it. And that's basically how I've lived my life, trying to help people. We are in an era now when there is so much going on, social justice, so many things are happening in the world. And I know that people are reflecting, just doing a lot of reflecting because we're in this pause moment. But when I think about the gaps, what Metro Impact can do and how we can make a difference, basically we have partnered with churches. We have a partnership with schools. We have partnerships with other different organizations, and the gap, I believe, is communicating and collaborating with others. We don't live in silos. No one can do it by themselves. So partnering and collaborating with other organizations is how I believe we can bridge that gap. When we do that, we tap into the strengths of others and they see our strengths as well. And there are many, many organizations out there who are doing this work every single day. They are trying to make lives better for people who are in the community and where they live at. And it takes everybody working together. So Metro Impact is just trying to do its small part by making a difference in the schools, working with youth, making a difference in the community by the wonderful work that we did with the seniors over at Sykes Mid-Rise. So all of those ways and all of those activities, those are things that we're doing to help bridge the gap.
Amen. Thank you so much. And once again, we are thanking God for Metro Impact One, and we know that Metro Impact One is going to do some amazing things for the community, has already done some amazing things. And so we're just looking forward to what Metro Impact One has to offer in the future. Emmanuel, how has your foundation interacted with the seniors during this pandemic?
First, I'd like to say that it's an honor to be speaking along with Lorraine about the Metro Foundation and what they're doing as well for senior citizens to bridge the gap between the youth and the senior citizen, because there is a huge gap, and bridging that gap is important. And so it is an honor to be able to speak with her, and I look forward to collaborating with her in the very near future in ways that we can impact seniors' lives in a very powerful and profound way. Because I believe that their latter years should be far greater spent than their earlier years. They should be honored and cherished in their latter years. Now, during the pandemic, Doctor, there has been a lot of anxiety that the seniors and the elderly have been experiencing, those that I'm familiar with and that I've interacted with. So Emmanuel's Hope Foundation and I personally, I do whatever I can do to alleviate some of that strain and stress that they experience. So I've been taking some seniors to food bank that have required that, others that have desired food brought to them. I take pleasure in doing that for them. And then there are others that our services are just on a continuous basis for them, where the storms that have been recent have caused trees to fall in their backyards or around their homes. And these things that don't necessarily create fear and anxiety for the younger people, they are serious to our senior citizens. Even the fact of them getting a citation from the city for tall grass and weeds, they agonize over that. They really fear and are frustrated and worry about that. And so that they're relieved when someone can come through and cut their grass for them, trim the hedges, cut the trees in the back, and remove debris and any hazards that may be in their yard. But during the pandemic, it's just important to ensure that they are safe and they are comfortable. Some of them don't want to leave their homes. And so the ones that I do landscaping for, if there are other things that they would like me to do for them, Emmanuel's Hope Foundation takes great pleasure in doing so. I even have one friend, because I've made many friends, and I get a lot of wisdom and knowledge through the friends that I have. I call them the young at heart. And I also like what Metro Impact, their theory is the senior, the heart of the community. And I think that's very important. And one senior citizen, her name is Mama Jackie. Every month on the 1st, she looks forward to me coming by her house, and she'll call me faithfully. Come to my house. I need you to take my card and go get my money out the ATM, then go to 7-Eleven and get me money orders, and then take those money orders to the front rental office and pay her rent for it because she doesn't want to leave her home. And so I believe, Doctor, that it's important that we lead by example, and that we first do and we show what we want and expect the world to be like. I believe that it's important that our example is paramount to what direction our life is going to go. And one thing is for sure, there is a harvest time. There is a harvest time. So we have to be very mindful of what we sow, because we can't escape the harvest time. And God has blessed our senior citizens to have a long life and be here with us. They're treasures in His sight. So it behooves us to honor whom God is honoring. And so during this pandemic, it's been sometime a lot. There's not enough time in a day to do all that is required. But I believe that the community is going to be awakened. I believe that the community is going to understand that our senior citizens, they're the pillars of our community. They have laid the foundation for us to walk in the path that we're walking today. And so it is the goal of Emmanuel's Hope Foundation to ensure that they're remembered, to ensure that their latter years are great. It's just a wonderful thing. And I need for people to get behind us and to support us and to support our vision in the community. Right now, it's one truck and a couple guys, but I have a vision that in the very near future, there will be a fleet of trucks going through the community, tending to the landscape and lawns of our senior citizens, discounted and complimentary for those that can't afford it at all. And I believe that will come to pass. I'm determined. And not only that, through the pandemic, I've seen some of our seniors be taken advantage of, where they have work they need done, but they're afraid to get it done. Now we struggle with unscrupulous contractors and shoddy mechanics. What recourse does our senior citizen have when someone promises to do a job, take their money, and does not return or does a shoddy job? If we as young people struggle with recourse, what recourse do they have? So Emmanuel's Hope Foundation not only wants to do landscape and lawn care, that's just the very beginning. That's the least that we can do. That is the least that we can do for our senior citizens is manicure and maintain their lawns so they can live in their homes comfortably and be confident and feel prideful about their landscape. So that's just the beginning. We want to bring an end to those things. And I have some ideas that will be put in place in the near future to address those issues.
Amen. Amen. Great vision. And listen, I'm praying and hoping that you will have that fleet of trucks just going throughout the community. Listen, I could have used you. I'm not a senior citizen, but I could have used you a couple of weeks ago. We had the storm. I had a tree to fall in my yard. Amen. So thank you, my brother. And listen, I am so amazed at what you're doing for the community, and I'm praying for you. And I just know that your vision is going to come to pass. I know that God is going to continue to bless you. And so once again, hats off to you. Sister Huff, what are some of the future plans? I know you talked about it a little while, a few minutes ago, but beyond that, what are some of the future plans that Metro Impact One has?
First, I'd like to thank Mr. Yancey. I look forward to working with y'all as well. I want to say that basically we have a pandemic out there, and with everyone who, as you sit in your homes, because many of us are isolated, and as you think to yourself, what does this pandemic mean to me? Why are we in this pause? What can I do? How can I make a difference? At least every week, I am reading an article in the newspaper regarding the school divisions in the area and how everyone is going to virtual learning at least for the first 9 weeks. And as I sit in my home, just thinking about, how can I make a difference? What can I do? I know that parents are struggling with figuring out logistics for childcare. We know that parents have to work, and how can they be at home with their kids to help with the virtual lessons and be at work at the same time? Or how can they, many parents have had to pay for after school care, but now we're talking about a full day of child care. So all of these thoughts that are running through my mind as I think about Metro Impact and the future plans that we have. And of course, I mentioned earlier our High Touch program, Check In and Chat. And that is our biggest venture for the next 2 years, because one of the things that we are going to be asking the youth at the end of this program is, would you bring a friend the next time? Hopefully you would have enjoyed the program so that a friend would want to be involved the next time. And also, as a youth, would you be a mentor to another child? Because this program is basically about life skills, helping kids to understand certain life skills, because it helps them to be a better student if they understand what it means to set goals, if they understand how to see the glass half full instead of half empty. So Metro Impact is really trying to make a difference in the lives of kids, not just to help them to get to the next grade, but we're trying to help them be what I call better citizens. I always say that when I was teaching, that I was building and developing lives, not just teaching them and trying to help them move from one grade to the next grade, but that the work that we're doing is building better citizens and helping them to just be better citizens. Another future plan of Metro Impact is that in our phase 3, we will be doing a lot of work with economic empowerment. And we know right now that there are so many people who cannot pay their rent. They can barely put food on the table. And once again, with all of the nonprofit organizations that are out there, how can we be a resource to some of these people? How can we make a difference? How can we navigate through some of the government red tape and help to find them an organization that would provide some assistance? Because sometimes with our people, I believe that they lack access to information, that there are things out there, but they don't know about them. And then secondly, it's hard for them to even fill out the paperwork, even with the SBA and the PPPL opportunities that were out there. As I listened to people talk about those things, and how there was money left, I began to think, okay, there are a lot of small businesses out there. Did they get their piece of the pie? Did they have difficulty filling out the paperwork? So with nonprofit organizations, and you look at how can you make a difference? How can you help someone? How can you help a person navigate through all the directions and paperwork that it entails with filling out things? We have a mission, and when we think about kids, people say so much, it takes a village. And then when we think about adults in the community, we think of that phrase, am I my brother's keeper? And the answer is yes. So Metro Impact, we have lots of future plans. We're going to move through this high touch coaches program, check in and chat for 2 years, and then we'll be moving into economic empowerment.
Amen. Amen. And that's what it's all about. It's all about partnering together and helping the community better. It's not about Emmanuel's Hope Foundation trying to want everything for themselves. It's not about Metro Impact, one organization trying to want everything for themselves. But it's all about working together. It's all about working together as a team to make our communities better. And I applaud both of the organizations because you're dealing with our seniors. My mother just turned 91 years old. And so, she's down in North Carolina. And so I'm just, thank God that we have organizations such as these two organizations that are focusing on our seniors, because Emmanuel, in case if you didn't know it, and Laverne, in case if you didn't know it, we're going to be senior citizens one day, and we want somebody to look after us. We want somebody to help us, and so hey, we want these same kind of programs that's going to be able to help us. And so I really appreciate everything that you all have talked about here thus far. Emmanuel.
Yes, sir.
What has given you a passion to engage and empower our seniors? What is your passion?
My grandfather told me, he said, Emmanuel, it's not what you say, but it's what you do. I know some people grow up and they are fortunate enough to have one grandparent. I had 6. So needless to say, I spent a lot of time with my grandparents, and they poured a lot of love, a lot of wisdom, and a lot of understanding in me. And I cherish those moments. I treasure those moments. Those moments are gone now. So the way that those moments can live on, and the way that my grandparents can live on, is through the teachings that they instilled in me, through the wisdom that they instilled in me, through the care and love that they showed me, and the importance of me to show that love and care to others around me. Because everyone is a child of God, and he says, what we do to the least of these children, we do unto him. So our seniors, God said, if you honor your father and your mother, your days will be long upon the land. So they have lived a long life, and God has blessed them to live a long life. And so I'm very passionate about ensuring that that life that they have, that it is prosperous, that it is enjoyable. The latter years should not be filled with stress, anxiety, and worration and loneliness. You know, no one is seeing about them, no one talking to them. Those things break my heart. And I believe that bridging the gap between the young and the old is putting a team of young men and young women to work on behalf of our senior citizens. Putting a team of young men and young women together to work, to uplift, and to make the lives of our senior citizens better. And doing work for our senior citizens, number one, it will teach our young people a good work ethic. Those that are unemployed, it will employ them, and it will give them a sense of pride when they see the joy that it brings to a senior citizen's heart when they come out and they look at their lawn and they just smile. And sometimes a tear rolls down their face because they're like, wow, this is how it used to look when I was doing it myself. You know, I journeyed to Hampton, and and if you view some of the before and after pictures that often post on Emmanuel's Hope Facebook page, you'll see a lot of the work that we do for our senior citizens. But I remember going to Mother Bryant's home in Hampton, and my God, she had a beautiful rock flower bed that she had maintained for many, many years herself. But to view it, it reminded me of my great grandmother because it was overgrown. Uh, sh and her husband lived there by themselves. And though her heart longs to go out there and pull the weeds and plant more flowers, her physical body won't allow her to do that. So it brought my heart joy when I met her and I was able to go there myself and spend about 3.5 hours there picking all the weeds out of her rock bed, removing all the rocks, laying plastic down, and relaying the stones and restoring her rock bed to its original state. And my God, the joy that it brought to her heart. It's just rewarding. And if our young people can have this experience, if our young people can put down their phones for a minute or two and just go listen to grandma tell them a story. If they will go listen to grandma tell them or grandfather tell them about an experience that they had, that lesson might just save that young person's life. That lesson just might put their life, Dr. Little, on a different path moving forward. Emmanuel's Hope Foundation has been out here going on officially 2 years, but unofficially 3 years. It's been many struggles. But my grandfather told me, the more struggles that you experience when you're on a path, it is telling you that you're on the right path and there are things in your way to try to deter you. And if I may, if I have a moment, Dr. Little, I like to share some of those struggles. Do I have a moment?
Yes.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Now, I'm out here every day. I started in a van loaded up with lawnmowers and weed eaters. And, you know, it was more time spent offloading this van to take these lawnmowers out to do the work, more time spent offloading and loading than it was doing the work. And it was a borrowed van, borrowed lawnmower, borrowed weed eater. But at this point, I've taken more of my resources, more of my own, what God has blessed me with. It's always been in the beginning, me putting what I had into it or borrowing what I could get to push forward the vision. Now we have a truck, and I bought a truck. The day that I bought this truck, it ran hot. Had to put it in the shop to discover it needed a hot water pump, a reservoir, an upper or lower hose, $2,100. So they repaired that. Then after that, it needed speed sensors. So the truck went in the shop again. They kept the truck for 3 weeks. So I had to rent a vehicle to keep pressing forward because I have senior citizens that depend on me, that rely on me. And so I rented a vehicle to continue to do the work in the community that I'm doing. And 3 weeks went by and I'm like, this is getting financially overwhelming. So I said, well, maybe it will be wiser to buy a second truck. So if the first truck is down, I won't have any downtime. So lo and behold, Dr. Little, I went and got a second truck. The second day that I drove this truck, she locked up on me. So last week I had 2 trucks, but had no truck to ride around and do work in because one was in the shop and the other was on the side of the freeway with the engine locked up.
Wow.
But I remember my grandfather, and he said, Emmanuel, when you come across these stumbling blocks and they're in your path, he said, they are stepping stones to you achieving what God has in store.
Exactly.
So there's something in the way of the senior citizen and our elderly people being taken care of. So I know I'm on the right path.
Mhm.
So I'm going to continue with determination. I'm going to be relentless, and I'm not going to stop until there are a fleet of trucks. How about a truck in every city, a
Amen.
truck in every neighborhood, and making sure that those who God is blessing with long lives, that we too honor them and not just think about ourselves. And through our example, our children, because they're not going to do what we say, they're going to do what we do.
Mhm.
So be an example is my goal, to be an example.
Amen. Very, very touching story, my brother. And God is going to bless you. And I just know that he is, and matter of fact, he's already blessing you. And I want to ask both of you, since you all are focusing on seniors, and I know that this really has nothing to do with what you are doing, but how will your organizations help? Uh, we know that we're coming up on election, and we know that a lot of our seniors have to can't get out and vote. How will your organizations be able to help assist with our seniors in voting for this presidential election? Either one of you can take that question there.
Well, Dr. Little, when I think about Sykes Midrise and how we began our work with them, we had a survey that we wanted them to complete. And if you remember that each one of us took a table and we sat at the table and kind of provided assistance to those seniors in assisting them in completing their survey. However, we can't help them with the voting, but one of the things that we can do is we can start out by, I know we're in a pandemic, and but we're still trying to be careful by wearing our mask and washing our hands. But in going to senior centers and talking about the voting process, finding out who's going to vote, work with people who have transportation to get them to vote and vote early, because that's what we are preaching now. We are preaching that you need to vote and you need to vote early. And also, if you're not comfortable mailing your ballot in, that we need to get that ballot back down there early. In fact, I saw something on Facebook today that said, get your ballot back in mid-October. I know I myself, I've already requested my ballot, and I was told that I think I'd get it sometime in September. So we want to be in senior centers. We want to be talking with them about the voting process. And then we want to get in our vans and we want to go and we want to pick them up. And we don't want to take them on November 3rd. We really want to get all of our seniors to vote early. That's basically the key, getting them to vote early.
Amen. Amen. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Laverne, what are some of the pressing needs or issues that Metro Impact One can address or assist with to help our communities be better?
Before I forget it, Mr. Yancey, I know I need you as one of my coaches. And as I listen to you, when we talk about legacy, before I answer this question, Dr. Little, when we talk about legacy with our youth, I would love to have you on Zoom because we are going to be talking with young people about who they are, because we want them to know that our race is a strong race. It's
Absolutely.
a wonderful, we want the kids to learn about themselves. So I'm going to be talking to you later about being one of our coaches just for one of our sessions on legacy. Pressing needs. Oh my. We think about physical needs of a person. When I think about pressing needs, if people don't have a roof over their head, if they don't have food to eat, if they're not warm, then all the other stuff, it's just hard for them to think about. Sometimes we want people to come to church, we want to do this, we want to do that, but if we can't help people in our community take care of their physical needs, then it's going to be hard to move them to the next level. If someone's lights are about to be turned out, then we've got a problem. So with Metro Impact, once again, I said that we are a resource. We try to help people navigate through some of the resources that are out there, because sometimes it's a lot of things out there and people are just like, should I do this? Should I do that? And sometimes people even miss things that are in, we know in everybody's Dominion Power bill, there are notes about if you need assistance with your light bill. So the physical needs of a person must be taken care of first, and Metro Impact, we are here to do that. We're here to help people in the community to take care of those needs. One of the challenging areas with seniors, another need is health. And I'm going to say this as African Americans, sometimes we don't eat the right things. And one of the things that we did when we went over to Sykes Midrise is we talked a lot about trying to eat healthy. We know that we love our fried foods, and I do too. And it is not the best thing that we need to be eating all the time, but we did talk to our seniors about eating healthier. Also, when I think about seniors, other pressing needs are their emotional needs. Seniors can be lonely. Sometimes their own relatives, they don't go to visit them like they should. And I really think that that is one of the main reasons that those seniors at the nursing home endured our coming, and they wanted us to come more. We've been in touch with them during the pandemic, and they are asking, are y'all going to conduct those workshops this year? Are y'all coming? And it's something that Mr. Yancey said. They are a wealth of knowledge, and we were able to listen to them as well. While we provided information for them, we had many of them share their stories with us, and how just impact that they had made in the lives of others as they were coming along. And even though they're at the senior age, they shared just wonderful things. We had a gentleman who was musically inclined, who loved music. We had a historian who shared lots of stories. I mean, his wealth of knowledge of the history of the African American race was just really awesome. And so taking care of the physical needs, the health needs, and the emotional needs, Metro Impact is here. We're doing some of those things. I want to share as well that we partnered with the Campostella Civic League. They had a food truck, that they had out in the community. And we came out and we assisted with that because, we use this term food desert, and I believe there is a food desert out there. There are people who don't have enough to eat. And so we tried to ensure that some of these seniors were able to get these fresh vegetables from the food truck that was parked in the community. And Metro Impact, we're out there, we're in the community, we're trying to see what the needs are, and basically we're trying to help out in any and every way that we can.
Amen. Amen. And I do want to encourage both organizations that, there may be times when we feel that everything is not really moving fast enough for us, but the Bible tells us the race is not given to the swift nor the battle to the strong, but is given to the one that holds out and endures to the end. And so listen, I know that God is going to move in both of these organizations, and we just got to hold on and hold out and know that what God has for us is for us. Emmanuel, we see that this pandemic has really been fatal on our seniors. So how can we express to our communities that we must always make sure that our seniors are being taken care of and getting the adequate care that they need?
I believe that the greatest expression of our duty is by example. Now, our seniors have a lot of needs, and attending to one small need for our senior citizens can mean more to them than we could ever imagine. And so I say take it one small step at a time. Take some roses or some flowers to a senior citizen just to let them know that they are remembered, someone is thinking about them. I say have a movie day. Invite them out to a movie. Just show our senior citizens that someone is thinking about them. There are some that are in states by themselves, and their children and grandchildren live in states far away. And they may not be able to spend as much time with their grandparents as they would like to. But during this time, I believe that any small thing that we can do by our example, and I say small thing that we can do, because I reminisce often about the lessons that I was taught. Because my grandmother always, that's what she said. She said, Emmanuel, there's always somebody who's doing nothing talking about somebody who's doing something.
Amen.
So do not allow the naysayers and the words that you hear to deter you from any path or vision that you have. Your dreams will be fulfilled if you press forward. But if you allow the person that's doing nothing, who always has something to say, they will deter you and you will not reach your ultimate goal in life. And so I encourage everyone just to take one step, even a phone call, listening to them on the phone. Some days, I have friends, and I call them my friends. They'll call me, and I'm on the phone an hour, and I'm listening, and I'm enjoying the word that's being shared with me. And they have lives that they've lived, and sometimes it gives them great joy to be able to share it with someone. Oftentimes they have stories that they're not able to share. So I just say that even a phone call, we may not can visit like we would like to during this pandemic, because our seniors are the most vulnerable during this pandemic. And it is imperative that we take special precautions during this time when dealing with our loved ones, because we don't want our good to be evil spoken of, or our good deed to end up being a harmful deed. So it's imperative to take extra precautions, wearing masks, washing your hands over and over again. But we should not let the pandemic be an excuse for us to forget about those who have laid the foundation and have been so powerful and impactful in our lives today. And like Dr. Little said, we are all going to be old someday. And how do we want to be treated when we're old? I look forward to growing old and I'm growing wise. I
Amen.
look forward to that. And I pray that God will give me the strength, the mobility. And these are the desires our seniors have. And I want to shine a light. I want the community. I want the state. I want the city. I want them to begin to think about and focus on our senior citizens.
Amen. Amen. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And you all have really blessed us on today with what's going on with your organizations. I am sorry that Sister Bailey could not connect with us, but she's on the road traveling, and she has an outstanding program as well called Youth Learn and Earn program. And so hopefully down the road, we'll get Sister Bailey to come back on and be with us and talk about her organization. The reason I have my hat on today, my Vice hat, because this
Okay.
is my nonprofit organization, and I didn't want to steal all the thunder because it's about you all. It's about talking about your organization, but I do just want to introduce mine. My organization is called Vice. Vice stands for Vision, Integrity, Character, and Encouragement. And the purpose of Vice uh, is to instill principles of manhood, provide encouragement, mentoring, and coaching to males in the area of character development, leadership, and economic empowerment. Vice also assists with incarcerated individuals with a successful transition to their community after they have been released from the judicial system. Vice is a nonprofit organization, and so we are grateful that Vice is a part of. We have some work in the Norfolk Public Schools, and so if you need any kind of mentoring or any kind of coaching, please reach out to me, Amen, about what Vice can do for you in the community because we all are working together and we know that it takes all of us, it takes every organization to help out in the community and do what we can do to help make our communities better. Laverne, how can people that have more questions about Metro Impact One contact you or any of your staff members? Do you have any contact information that they can
Yes,
contact?
I do, Dr. Little. And before I do that, I am really recruiting today to everyone out there who is watching this broadcast. I am looking for coaches. Um, and this is the amount of time that you would have to spend. It is only 30 to 45 minutes, one time a week on Zoom. You would have 6 to 8 kids who would be on the screen, and this would be for 3 weeks for the months of October, November, January, February, March, and April. So I'm looking for coaches who are interested in just helping us out and who are invested in kids, who want to make a difference with kids, who have some knowledge that they can share, insight, knowledge, just some thoughts on how to be a better citizen. I just want to review those topics again. So once again, if you're out there and you're listening and you want to be one of those coaches to work with the high touch coaching program, um, check in and chat. That's basically what this program is. Please contact me at 757-620-1449. My email is capital L Chatman, CHAT as in Tom, MAN, the numerical number 2 at Verizon.net. And I'll give it to you again. But what I wanted to do just briefly, Dr. Little, if you don't mind, I wanted to share another topic that we have that I left out. We're also going to be talking about youth COVID-19 stress, just how this pandemic is affecting youth who are at home. And we have a wonderful speaker who lives in the state of Rhode Island, but she has done a lot of work with youth and adults, and she is going to be one of our Mystery Month guest speakers, because we're also going to have Mystery Month guest speakers as well. So that's going to be on youth COVID-19 stress. Once again, I just want to mention our program, Pastor, and thank you for giving me this moment as we close. It's High Touch Coaching, check in and chat. Some of our topics are legacy, gratitude versus entitlement, goal setting, reframing your thinking, academic tutoring and study habits, financial literacy, and developing youth leaders. In addition to that, we will be having some monthly speakers to talk about some different topics like social media. We're going to talk about youth COVID stress, musical genres, and those types of things. But if you're out there and you can be one of the coaches for Metro Impact One, please make sure you contact me at that email or call my phone number, 757-620-1449. Dr. Little, this has been a great program. I have really enjoyed sharing information about Metro Impact One, and I thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, Laverne. Thank you so much. And we are so excited to have you on today to just talk about Metro Impact One. And as I said earlier, I just know that Metro Impact One is going to be a force in the community. And so we thank God for you, for your work and your leadership that you bring to Metro Impact One. God bless you. Emmanuel, how can people that have more questions about Emmanuel's Hope Foundation contact you or any of your staff members?
Yeah. First, I'd like to say, Dr. Little, VICE is an extraordinary organization.
Thank you, sir.
And what you're doing in the community is exceptional, because it is important that our youth know that their past does not have to define or dictate their future. Their past only created the present, and it's up to them to use the present to make their future as bright as the stars, if that's what they want. But the present is what's going to dictate the future. And so your organization is great in showing that to our young men that are coming out of incarceration and coming out of places like that they can do anything that they want to do. These stumbling blocks are actually climbing and stepping stones. So your organization is exceptional.
Thank you, sir.
Emmanuel's Hope Foundation can be reached on our website at www.emmanuelshope.org. And that's Emmanuel with one M. www.emmanuelshope.org. Our Facebook is Emmanuel's Hope, and on Instagram as well, Emmanuel's Hope. My email is empowerment@emmanuelshope.org. Again, that's empowerment@emmanuelshope.org. And the phone number is 757-488-1645. Again, that number is 757-488-1645. And I would like to thank you for allowing me this platform today. It has truly been an honor, and it has been a privilege and a pleasure. And Ms. Huff, it's been an honor and a pleasure as well. Your organization is extraordinary, and I look forward in the very near future to collaborating with you. And likewise for VICE.
Amen. Thank you so much. Thank both of you so much. And those of you who have any kinds of questions or if you want more information from both of these outstanding organizations, or if you want information from VICE, you can contact me. My phone number is 704-918-2558. Once again, that's 704-918-2558. And once again, we are looking forward to doing great things in the community, all of these organizations. And please, utilize us to help bridge this gap. in our communities. And so once again, Laverne and Emmanuel, we thank you for being with us on today. And once again, you have it. Just a little talk will make everything all right. God bless you. I pray and hope that you all will have a wonderful day. May God continue to bless your organizations, and may God continue to bless you. Stay safe, stay healthy, but most of all, keep the Lord with you everywhere you go. God bless you. Have a wonderful evening.
God bless. God bless.